Hello and welcome to the Stormgate Kickstarter. I'm Tim Campbell. I'm the game director and president here at Frost Giant Studios. And we are here assembling some of the world's greatest RTS developers who've worked on some of the biggest franchises in the genre to come together to build.
Nobody worked on Age of Empires? Nobody worked on Dawn of War? It's all right.
Build the next evolution for the real-time strategy genre. Welcome to Stormgate.
Again, pretty much what I said a couple of seconds ago. The video quality is so much better. The presentation is so much better. Like, we criticized, where's the oomph moment? Where's the cool stuff? Like, bam, bam, bam. It's looking great. Huge armies, cool units, big ass stuff. Stuff is exploding. This is what I want to see in an RTS trailer.
Hide away your world.
Holy moly. That's a new cinematic. I didn't see that yet. That one, wait. This was in the very first trailer, right? But the other one, this one is new. Video is loud? Sorry. So we got the antagonist.
Our vision is to make the most fun RTS of all time. And to us, that means a lot of different things. First, it starts with core gameplay. We're opening up the RTS experience to new players through new modes, new ways.
I just praised you for not showing too many things at the same time. And here we have 4 things on one screen. All right.
Of play.
At least there's more time.
Or you enjoy cooperative experiences, or you want to get right into ladder and play hardcore competitive, we have content for you in Stormgate. To build this vision, we had to start first with the technology and tools to bring it to life.
I'm James Anhalt, the chief architect here at Frost Giant, and I'm here to show you the custom tech we built for Stormgate. It transforms Unreal Engine 5 into the most state-of-the-art real-time strategy game engine. Get ready for snowplay.
So cool. Oh my god! Reconnect!
Snowplay
Holy shit,
plus
that's a
Unreal
lot of
Engine
info.
5 makes Stormgate a truly next-gen real-time strategy game, and we can't wait for you to get your hands on it and play.
At Early Access, we will have 3 distinct asymmetric factions, each with their own unique gameplay, their own unique identity, and core mechanics that are unique to them. We began developing Stormgate by focusing on our 1v1 mode initially, and this allowed us to make sure that the game was responsive, units felt good, and the game blew us away. The response to our earliest pre-alpha test was that it was already incredibly fun. And so we've carried that with us forward into other modes.
All right, let's recap this a little bit from, that was a lot of info in very little time. So, campaign shows the cinematic trailer. You can play the campaign together. That's pretty cool. Co-op versus AI is something you know from StarCraft, where it was 2-player max, I think. So I've played this already. What you can see here is like a cargo kind of thing you have to destroy as part of the side mission. Cool design, in my opinion. Competitive, of course, 1-on-1 and 3v3, 1-on-1 without heroes, 3 versus 3 with heroes, and custom games with an editor, which is necessary for RTS, I guess.
For you in Stormgate. To build this vision, we had to start first with the technology and tools to bring it to life.
I'm James Anhalt, the chief
Right,
Unreal
we've seen
Engine.
we've seen this. So much cooler than the first gameplay video. Show action, show a lot. That's what I want to see. Big clashes. Lots of stuff exploding. just to show the path finding between all these big units. 32 players. How much does StarCraft 2 have? Warcraft 3 has 24, right? And is rarely used. So it's 32 players with 300 supply, which is quite a bit. In 3-on-3, it's quite a bit that's happening on the screen. I don't know how much StarCraft has, but 32, quite a lot. And mass spectating, I guess something like Flow TV. Hot join, so you can join an ongoing game, I assume. Cool feature. Reconnect, absolutely essential, but you need it. Replays also. Some games don't have reconnect still. Some games were launched without replays. So it's good that they get the basics right. If they deliver. At least they know what the basics are and that they are essential. And rollback is sick. Like, I think, once again, the simplest description for this is the game predicts what you're doing, and if there's a lag, it uses that prediction to fill the gap where usually would be a lag. So it's a lot smoother, even on higher ping. So a lot of people say that 200 ms doesn't feel like 200 ms. Which is great for everyone who is not living near Frankfurt or Amsterdam or wherever these big server farms are.
Snowplay plus
It's
Unreal
just
Engine
smoothest
5
things out,
makes
filling
Stormgate a
gaps.
truly next-gen, real-time strategy game. And we can't wait for you to get your hands on
Asymmetric factions.
Third faction. I like the color scheme. Very distinct. It's simple yet effective. The icon is cool, even though it's pretty much StarCraft Marine, just turned upside down, right? Infernal Host is very Diablo, but fits the theme as well. Grubby's community said it's gonna be cat girls. Anime cat girls. You know what? As a Wing Commander fan, I'd like cat people. Bring the Kilrathi back. I remember. But yeah, it feels like something spiritual is missing, right? Even though this is already a little demonic, magic, blood sacrifice themed. I mean, obviously, if you feel the gaps, this is Terran, this is Zergish, then have this be Protoss. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, I think. Not Protoss, but maybe like machine AI Protoss thing. Or ancient gods or something.
Each with their own unique gameplay, their own unique identity, and
Like, this is human Terran, this is undead Zerg, and then this is Protoss Night Elf. Rip orcs.
core mechanics that are unique to them. We began developing Stormgate by
Look at
focusing
the improvement of graphics, by the way, at these shrines in comparison to what they show in a second. And this is also something we said pretty early on, that graphics can develop really quickly, especially with lighting, which is, as far as I know, what was said yesterday, not even remotely done.
on our 1v1 mode initially, and this allowed us to make sure that the game was responsive.
So different. This screen to this one. Quite a lot happening.
Units felt good, and the game blew us away. The response to our earliest pre-alpha test was that it was already incredibly fun. And so we've carried that with us forward into other modes.
Discovery, this is Command.
We're kicking off early access with the first few chapters of an epic, sweeping campaign that will allow you to experience the story of Stormgate either solo or cooperatively with your friends. As an extension to our universe, we're building an expanding roster of hero characters.
Regarding the story, This wasn't mentioned yet. Maybe they do mention it later, but they did mention it on Kickstarter, which is pretty damn cool. We tweeted about it. This is from their Kickstarter. Frostgiant writers and designers have created an all-new sci-fi and fantasy game universe in partnership with New York Times bestselling author Mickey Nielsen. I don't know him. And with the help of Blizzard Entertainment's Chris Metzen, dude. The Metz is helping out, which is great, because his stories are usually great. I mean, he's Thrall. He did the Warcraft story, right? So, yeah, hell yeah. Good sign to me. Personally.
Extension to our universe, we're building an expanding roster of hero characters that you can use in the single-player campaign or co-op as you're exploring the story, but that you can also lead into
this guy,
battle.
First hero that they show, basically a paladin. I'd say a better paladin than the Reforged paladin. Little generic, you know, fat, like big bulky dude, big hammer in his hand. We've seen this a lot, but fun.
Player campaign or co-op.
Reinhard Muradin, yeah, that's fitting.
As you're exploring the story, but that you can also lead into battle in the 3 versus AI cooperative mode or in the 3v3 team mode that we're building after early access. We're then taking the technology and the tools that we've used to build all of these modes, and we're bundling them up to release to you so that you can really unleash your creativity and introduce the world to your own stories, your own characters, and your own mods.
Yeah, super important.
Story.
I'm not sure how many people will still use the editor because, like, game development, it's so much further along than it was back in the 2000s when the Warcraft 3 editor was the incredible tool. Like, it's probably a lot easier to build your own game. You don't have to fall back to a games editor. But it's still super important. It adds a lot of longevity, customizability, and if it's easy to use and powerful, great. Great. By the way, thank you, Seri, for the 32-month. Do you like what you're seeing? I do. Mickey Nielsen came to fame with the World of Warcraft novels Ashbringer and The Pearl of Pandaria. Okay, I don't know if they're good or not. Can't say anything about it.
It's your own characters and your own mods. Storytelling is near and dear to my heart. It's why I got into the games industry and began developing this type of game in the first place. I was the lead campaign designer on Warcraft 3 and the Frozen Throne, where I contributed to some of the epic chapters in Warcraft's history. Together with the designers here at Frostgiant, we're working with Mickey Nielsen, a multiple award-winning, best-selling author who helped contribute to Warcraft and StarCraft, working over 23 years at Blizzard on those franchises. Additionally, early on, we partnered with Chris Metzen himself, the war chief, and one of the key creatives who came up with the vision for Warcraft and StarCraft originally. Together, we've created a framework for storytelling.
So, the Metz is busy, huh? 3 World of Warcraft expansions and Stormgate. I really hope he has enough creativity for 4 games. But at least if he just helps with the outlines, should be good. And it's obviously a selling point to people.
It's going to enable us to tell an ongoing narrative for years to come. So let me tell you a little bit about the universe of Stormgate. We're bringing together some of the best elements of both fantasy and sci-fi into a new post-apocalyptic setting. We're set in the near future inside the midst of this apocalypse where an alien race of infernal demonic invaders has swept into the world and destroyed civilization as we know it, subjugating all of humanity. And in the middle of this, we mix together post-apocalyptic settings with survivors and ragtag militias and marauders and all these desperate circumstances, along with hard sci-fi elements like battle mechs and spaceships and cybernetics. And then we introduce through the others these fantasy elements with dark magic and sorcery and rituals. At the end of the day, what we really want to do is be able to have a mech punch a dragon.
I had the pleasure of working on the StarCraft 2 version of co-op, and it was a mode that I loved dearly. We see Stormgate's highly replayable 3-player co-op mode as an evolution of that mode in which there are even more replayable missions.
All right, so that's pretty damn cool. You got the main mission, you got the secondary objectives in the mission. You got to do that all at once while you're being attacked. Here, of course, the chat wheel helps. I talked about the convoy that you have to destroy. That's one of the missions. I hope they can be even more creative than that, though.
There are more opportunities to cooperate. In addition, enemies will be more varied. There will be more dynamic occurrences.
Question in chat, why is the map on the right-hand side? You can change that to your liking, and you don't even have to restart a game, for example. So they already start out with customizability.
To cooperate. In addition, enemies will be more varied. There will be more dynamic occurrences in every given map. One of our primary design goals with Stormgate Co-op is that it'll be a new experience every time you play. A large part of what makes Stormgate Co-op very exciting is the heroes that we have planned for you all. A Stormgate hero is not only just a unit on the battlefield, it's also a brand new array of global abilities you can use anywhere on the map, and new units that are very specific to the hero itself.
So
let's take our...
I'm really curious how they do this, because they talk about heroes, right? So can you level them? Or do you level the character outside? Like, do you level in between playthroughs? Or do you level actively on the battlefield? Or is one hero like this and the other one like that? The biggest, not selling point, what I like most about Warcraft heroes is there's always progress. You start at level 1, it's already a powerful unit, but you grow bigger the longer you play, and you always learn new skills and you grow stronger. A lot of people don't like that because it's snowball-y. I don't necessarily agree, but it's always the counterpoint. I think you can definitely balance that. But if I have a hero unit on the field and it's not leveling, that takes away what I like in a hero unit. There is veterancy. Yeah, that's right. But it's not the same, really, I think. So basically, your units can level up to like rank 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure if that's the case for heroes. And yeah, maybe every hero is different, as I read, because I never played StarCraft co-op, that it is different between StarCraft co-op commanders as well. So maybe big variety is a selling point here.
Our first co-op hero, Blockade from the Vanguard faction. Blockade is known for being a resilient fighter supporting his teammates with heals and buffs. But Blockade's not just about defense. As one of the most grizzled fighters in the Vanguard army, he'll be able to jump into the battlefield and swing his hammer around to strike fear into enemies. And in a pinch, he'll be able to help his allies from across the map with his ability to teleport not only himself, but his units across the battlefield.
So it's Leap, it's Bladestorm, it's Mass Teleport, and it's Holy Light. Basically, those are the abilities. With, you know, a little bit of nuance, but that's about it.
Co-op in Stormgate is really a mode for everyone, and we can't wait for you to try.
And I don't know if like Mass Teleport should be reserved to this one hero, cause really think why Warcraft 3 team games are so successful is the ability to town portal with that item. You can always help out, and it's decision making if you really want to help out right now, or if you go for a counter push, etc. I personally will miss town portals a lot, so I would appreciate just for. It's also beginner friendly, I think. You don't want to lose a game because you misstep once, right? That's this hard punish thing. It should of course be a soft punish if you're not in position, but it shouldn't lose you the game instantly. I think a lot of people would get very, very frustrated if there's no TP/recall available.
For more than 20 years, real-time strategy games have been a leader in the world of competitive gaming. With Stormgate, we want it to be easier than ever to compete. Our goal is to reduce the points of friction to enter events and play with your friends, find out who the best player in your school, in your town, in your city is. If you follow a content creator, if you're part of an online community, we want you to be able to play with your friends and other people in that same group. We want you to be able to spin up a tournament and just be competing immediately and removing any obstacles that prevent you from doing that. At Frost Giant, we see competition as more than just esports. It's about community. It's about empowering and facilitating the community to do what they love and to let them do what they want to do without dictating it to them from the top.
Just so much
Frost Giant, where's the Rara Land content? Come on.
damage over time on the high ground here. Gaunt's trying to snowball, but they're just going to take a massive shot.
We've already gotten the game into the hands of some of the most skilled players in the world, and the results have been phenomenal. It's been fun to watch, it's been super interesting to play, and it's been incredibly exciting to see.
The RTS genre has a long and glorious history with editors being released to the community. We've seen entire new genres spring out of the Warcraft editor, for example, with...
Really? Did the MOBA genre come out of the RTS genre? Really?
Tower defense and MOBAs that started out as RTS mods and maps and then grew into entire new genres that have dominated the gaming industry. We aim to continue that tradition. Our team worked directly on the editors for Warcraft and for StarCraft. We built content with them and we actually helped build the tools themselves. We're rolling all of that knowledge and experience into the tools for Stormgate to release to you. One of the powerful new innovations we've done is that the editor and the tools are not a separate client. They're built directly into the game itself. So with the press of a button, you can switch between gameplay and editing mode in order to make it.
As a noob, I never understood why that's separate. Like, why did nobody do this before? It's such a no-brainer. Why is that so hard? I don't get it. Like, there's probably a lot of people that are more knowledgeable about this stuff than me. But yeah, why was it not part of that game?
Fast and a tight loop to be able to create and test your own content. These tools will be usable to build mods. They'll be used to make maps and tell your own stories and build your own campaigns. Our 4 C's, the campaign, the co-op, the custom games, and of course, the competitive gameplay, are at the heart and soul of what we're building here.
So why are we doing a Kickstarter? We felt that this was the best way to give the community what they were asking for. We've received a lot of requests for physical merchandise. Also, we've received an overwhelming number of requests for how players can get into the beta. Online multiplayer testing is really expensive, and we haven't made any money to date yet. Through Kickstarter, we can expand the beta pool and allow more players to get into the game while supporting Stormgate. One of the great things about Kickstarter is it allows us to deliver a Stormgate Physical Collector's Edition.
Vulcan online.
I think it's pretty
The Vulcan
cool.
mech
I'm not
is
a
one of the
huge
defining
collector.
units of the Vanguard Army, and we
Looks
decided
good.
to make the Vulcan mech the centerpiece of our Collector's Edition. Here
It
you
does
see a fully painted prototype of our 6.5-inch Vulcan statue.
How much is that in non-freedom units? I just refuse to learn how much an inch is. Okay, you don't know either? 2.54? 16? Okay.
Painted prototype of our 6.5-inch Vulcan statue.
We're really excited to build Stormgate with you and for you, and to have you be a part of this journey and help shape the game that we're creating. This is the beginning of the next 10 years for the RTS genre. And I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts at Frost Giant for being a part of this process and helping to bring this game to life.
And that did work quite well, didn't it? Do we have the Kickstarter open somewhere? Nope. I looked at it yesterday. Yesterday it was like 600,000 dollars, euros, something. So where is it now? Wow, 734,000 euros. That's a lot. That's like $800,000, I think. So, of course, not of course, but if you want to support this, we have an affiliate link on our socials, where we get a little share of what you spent as a pledge. Mostly digital stuff. You can buy the campaigns already, and of course get the statue for the expensive stuff. But this is the money they would have made without a Kickstarter as well, I think. All the people who are hyped are backing. Nobody got convinced yesterday, I guess. But this money is available now for better videos, maybe better promo, anything they need from here on out to release. And I guess it's helpful. We'll see how much it makes once it's released then.